We're probably all familiar with the scene. The classroom is settling down as the bell rings, and the teacher begins to take roll. Well, what are the responses? Jimmy, here. Susie, here. Jill, yeah. All kinds of different responses come from the students. You're familiar with that kind of a scene. Some are more anxious and ready to go. Others, well, they're just barely there. Well, what about your response when God calls roll? You know, he did that with Abraham, and Abraham said, "Here I am." It's Genesis 22. The same thing happens with Jacob. Jacob gives a one-word answer to God as God calls out to him. Same thing with Moses as God started to use Moses. They all gave a one-word answer, and that word in the Hebrew is hineni. Hineni. Most often it's translated, "Here I am." But there really isn't an English word that gets to the heart of the meaning of hineni, "here I am." It really has a sense of loyalty. It has a sense of dependability, that you're ready to go, you're alert, you're ready to do what God asks you to do. And so in all of these cases, when you find that word, we'll find these individuals in the Bible ready, willing, and absolutely dedicated to do what God tells them to do. I wonder if that's our perspective. When we read something in the Bible, when we see something new, when we understand a certain concept that we need to change and put into our life, are we of that attitude of hineni? It really comes down to this idea that I'm ready, I am alert, I'm prepared to do what you ask of me. God wants you to be just like that. And he doesn't expect us to do anything that he himself won't do. In Isaiah chapter 58, he tells us himself in verse 9. He says, "You shall call, and the Lord will answer. You shall cry, and he will say, 'Here I am.'" Hineni. So be ready as God calls and works with you. Always be ready to answer, "Here I am." That's BT Daily. We'll see you next time.